Royalty-free music is paid for by a flat rate, and then the purchaser can use that music any way they need to, put it on a video, or use as call waiting music, and the price stays the same no matter how much the song gets played. Say, the person who purchased the music puts the song on a video, and the video goes viral. If the music was not royalty-free, the person who made the video would have to pay the composer a certain amount of royalties for every time someone viewed the video, an unexpected cost of success. Using royalty-free music prevents this from happening, and often provides more income for the composer, since they're able to charge more upfront for royalty-free music, and videos don't often go viral and result in tons of royalties. People are also more likely to purchase music for a flat fee than they are to purchase music with all the strings of royalties attached.
Composing is something you just have to do, so part of the get that art out. I've produced music for jingles and television commercials and stuff like that, and that's maybe a step above stock, where somebody contracted me to do a jingle or something like that for a commercial, a TV commercial, and you were paid a flat fee.
Occasionally we will do marketing promotional videos. It could be we're up for an award and we're going to show a video at a conference and we want everyone in the room to vote for us. So we might create a video, and then in that case we'd be looking for real upbeat music, and we would go to various sources to seek out the best music for that.
You never know what can happen with the music though. There could be a particular person or a group of people that hear the tune and it may fit if they're doing a film, for example. So at that point they would contact us or through BMI or whatever we belong to and ask permission to use that. And that might in turn create royalties.
I typically don't do commission work if possible. I tend to really only do it if I feel like I'm helping somebody out, or maybe it's a local producer that wants something done. And the reason for that is that when I do commission work, if I charged basically what I make per hour doing royalty-free music, no one would ever use it. So I usually charge about half as much as I make doing royalty-free music. And so I'm taking a hit when I do that. Partly I have in mind that eventually I might like to do music as a full-time gig, in which case I would definitely do commissioned work, but as I mentioned before, I don't really have time to do that with a day job and a family and all that. So typically I will either discourage commissioned work or quote so high that the person never gets back to me.
The only prompt I had was a couple of years back. I wrote for a show, a musical that was being done at an art school. So I was commissioned to write music for the play, for the show. And that was a bit of a challenge because I had to keep it confined to a certain theme. A little stressful, but I enjoyed the work. But normally I just compose for just the joy of it.
Like two different streams. I've composed, getting back to talking about jingles, I did a Ford commercial once where the music was going to be a shot of a guy punching buttons on his really hip optional stereo system. So they go, give us a classical piece, give us a country piece, give us a jazz piece. And those were, okay, great. We just kind of collared something together. It wasn't particularly like that bolt of inspiration where you're like, oh, I gotta go to the piano and get this idea out.
Yeah.
It turns into something really special.
Yeah, I don't think I've really been under the gun where these parameters are set and you have to compose within this, other than this play. But that's a whole different mindset. You really have to kind of get up in the morning and say, now I have to do this. It's not just, well, I think I would like to compose today. It's, yeah, I have to get this done. The crunch of the deadline puts a whole different aspect to it.
I use royalty-free music for pretty much any video that I edit. We also use it for during live stream and broadcast. We'll use it as filler or background music.
The internet also makes it possible for consumers like Connie to seek out what they really want and preview composers' work before they collaborate with the composer to get exactly what they need.
I have hired professional musicians in the past to create custom music. When we set up our conference call or on hold music at the company, it came with this classical music, and over time people have complained to our IT department about that. So IT came to marketing and said, there's so many complaints, can you help us find music? We sat and thought about the scenario, which is people are sitting, waiting for other people to arrive who are late. You know, they can be irritable, they can have anxiety, so we want music that soothes them but also doesn't put them to sleep. So I reached out to Christopher Wojtak, and he was able to, put multiple tracks together at home, uploaded them into our phone system here. So, in that case, it would be, we bought royalty-free music, probably $200 a song, and, it was a 24-hour turnaround, so that was great.
In the past, there were firms that wrote commission jingles for commercials to be used royalty-free. Now, the trend is to download songs one at a time off of websites like Audio Jungle or Pond5. In between, there was a move in the production business to use libraries of royalty-free music that were bought for a flat rate, then used as often as need be. Western Oregon's Digital Production Services uses libraries like these.
We've never commissioned a musician to write anything. We get it from a catalog. We have a subscription right now to a website called videoblocks.com, which has a lot of royalty-free music. And then we use whatever other resources there are. I know like YouTube provides some royalty-free music. And there's, I just do a Google search sometimes and see what I can find.
No, definitely not. Unless I really, hopefully, if I were to put my mind to it very steadily, compose on a very daily, regular basis, maybe I might be able to bring in some money for that. But I don't do my composing for money. We play both our tunes quite frequently.
We have our own trio, and tonight we're hired guns. Tomorrow night we're hired guns.
We'll be playing other people's compositions.
I have another income. I'm also a software engineer, and I probably will be a software engineer for quite some time. The caveat there is I could actually earn my living off of composing. It just wouldn't be as good a living as doing both at once. There's a few goals that I want to reach before I try to go full-time stock music. One is, pay off the house completely, have a certain amount in savings, make sure my daughter's school is paid for. She's 11 now, and college is going to cost a lot in 2020. So there's a few things. Also, when you're on your own, you have to deal with your own insurance, and there's a lot of stuff you get, working, so-called working for the man. Because stock music is something I can fit in the gaps, it's been really great to have this extra income that I can do on my own time without driving myself insane. I actually make about twice as much per hour doing the royalty-free music than I do at my day job. So I feel like, if I can gear myself up with a year worth of savings and just go for it, I could probably, working 40 to 50 hours a week, easily make my living off of it. There are a lot of risks involved there too. I know a lot of guys that are kind of going that direction, and your one big risk is you really, especially if you just do royalty-free music, you've kind of put your fate in the hands of whatever marketplace you're using. And at any point, somebody could buy out Audio Jungle, or they could change their search algorithm, and suddenly I'm not going to get any sales. So there's just a lot of stuff you can't control.
Subscription to Video Blocks, we get paid for that. It was like we got a special deal. It was like a 6-month subscription for $90. So, and with that, we get a license to use whatever we download for whatever purpose that we want, commercial or just creative. So we did pay for that. But other than that, I haven't paid for any other music. So I try to find it for free. I mean, we haven't really allocated a budget for that kind of stuff.
Yes, I am willing, and I have, and I will continue to. What I like about that is a lot of the projects that we'll do aren't for massive audiences. I might show this video at a show, or my website visitors might not be as large as, say, Apple.com, for example. So when I have a smaller audience, the projects are more modest, and the budgets are more modest. So that allows me to continue to create materials without spending major dollars.
Not much of a synthesizer person. I'm not opposed to it, but I like to compose at the piano for an acoustic setting of a trio or a quartet, or occasionally some horns. I've done that before.
I wouldn't say I'm a one-trick pony, but most of my stuff starts with an acoustic guitar, starts with the ukulele, and that's just because that's what I'm comfortable with. I like listening to all kinds of music, but I tend to focus on folksier stuff or more alternative stuff. Sometimes I'll listen to punk rock, louder Slater-Kinney type stuff, but it's all pretty organic, not really a lot of electronic. So that's pretty much the kind of music I know, and that's what I tend to write. I do try to leap out into other genres from time to time with varying success. I really admire people who can flip from genre to genre. Those are really talented people. I'm trying to learn to be one of those people, but right now I focus mostly on what I know.
I've had some education in digital music production myself, but for the composing that I care the most about, it's all acoustic piano, where it starts with my personal instrument, which is the bass, doesn't involve computers or anything. Although that's a really valuable tool because you can put together your music piece by piece. You can play instruments that you can't really play.
I've used 3 different sites. I've used iStock Audio, Shutterstock, and then SoundCloud. So in the past, I've purchased anywhere from maybe $40 to $80 of royalty-free music, per video on iStock. But as of late, what I've found that I like better is going to SoundCloud and looking at that same catalog of artists and coming up with something that matches my project, and then reaching out directly to the musician, sending them an email just saying, hey, could I use this could I use this royalty-free for a project, and if so, how much would that cost? And I've always received a fast response. They've been happy to do that. I like that because it cuts out the middleman, and all the money goes straight to the musician. Someone's just put these files up. I'm listening. I reach out. We negotiate. I'm not going through some company that's going to take off the money. So it feels good working with the musicians directly.
How do you manage your own music, especially in the trio context, where we have between the 3 of us, or whenever we're playing with the work pieces?
The record company is in the trunk of my car. Just want to buy a CD. Yeah, we market our CDs also over the internet, like a lot of independent people do, through CD Baby and Amazon. So it's great. For do-it-yourselfers, that's the way to go.
Nowadays, many people get the royalty-free music they need from websites like Audio Jungle and Pond5. Joel Hunger markets his music primarily from these sites, and his music has made its way from Portland, Oregon, into the videos of highly viewed YouTubers in Los Angeles, England, Sweden, and France. The online shift in the acquisition of music has made it easier for everyone to get what they need.
Typically, it'll be stated up front in whatever marketplaces marketing your music. So, for instance, on Pond5, it's non-exclusive 50%. They take 50, I take 50. So for every $20 sale, I would get $10. Straight down the board. Audio Jungle, it's a little more complex. If you're non-exclusive, you take 33%. So on my non-exclusive account, which is my main account, I get about a third of every sale. If you're exclusive, you start at 50%, and as you work your way up to total sales of $75,000, you can work your way up to 70%. So I have an exclusive account which hasn't sold anywhere near as much as I just started it last year. We'll see how far that gets, but I'm at nearly at the 52% level. Other marketplaces I've seen anywhere from 15%, I think, on iStock Photo, which I don't use, up to 65% on production tracks.
Whether the composer and the consumer collaborate on the final project together or work through third-party stores to get what they need from each other, royalty-free music is basically a way for composers to get that art out and provide a product to people who are looking for the perfect music to go with their work. The culture of royalty-free music is a strange blend between music for music's sake and music purely for the sake of business and getting the job done. With the advent of the internet, more heartfelt music is being made available and is changing the way that consumers think about the music associated with their projects.